Why I took down Shiva Burton's YouTube channels: Incrimination Gossip, False Reporting, and Obstruction of Commerce. So, hi everybody, this is another video that I'm putting together for the evidence library. Once again, this evidence library is to support a presentation that was done talking about GCHQ and JTRIG and how covert agents use the internet to discredit targets. So this is all just to back up all the screenshots and slides from that original presentation. So what we're going to review in this video is something that happened to me. I'm going to share a story with you. What you're looking at here is a blog post that I have written. It's in preview mode. I have not yet published it. The reason why I'm waiting to publish it is because I have many blog posts that I want to publish all at once. So for now, I figured I'd just make a video and share with you what happened behind this particular situation so that you can see an example of what these agents do to discredit targets. And in this particular case, I'm talking about someone who is kind of like a rumor mill factory. Shiva Burton, she works for the Hoaxstead blog. She's over in the UK. She's gone around, she's done the rounds, and I just want to show you exactly what happened so that you can see an example of the different kinds of crazy stuff that they do. So let me go ahead and read the article for you. So as part of a larger report, I thought it was better to dedicate an entire post to one particular troll named Shiva Burton. This is because the story behind Shiva demonstrates three different aspects of the operation that has been set up to attack citizens and suppress disruptive technology and emerging business. Plays the victim card. If you were to encounter Shiva Burton online, you will no doubt get a sob story about how she's a victim of abuse by her target. She'll claim that she's just an innocent bystander who's constantly attacked out of the blue by people that she doesn't even know why. She's playing a very specific role from the training manual of GCHQ tactics called Play the Victim. As you can see here, direct from the GCHQ training slides, instructing agents on how to discredit their targets. So here's a screenshot. This is part of the slides that were leaked by Edward Snowden. This is the actual training document, and right there, write a blog purporting to be one of their victims. So Shiva Burton is a perfect example of that. Shiva Burton has even created a couple of fake victim blogs. This is something else you should be aware of. They appear to be set up as a support group to help provide therapy or counseling for victims of abuse. There are no resources or content of any perceived value on these blogs. The only content on the blogs are Shiva's personal diatribes against people she's targeted. The blogs also act as a means of data collection meant to lure in unsuspecting real victims of abuse so that they can be retargeted. All of this is done using reverse psychology, calling the real fake, calling the fake real, all meant to confuse and discredit others. Here are some screenshots from Shiva Burton's fake victim blogs. This says the real Fresh Start Foundation. There is an actual Fresh Start Foundation that was set up it was against child abuse, and Shiva came in and said, no, they're fake, I'm real, I'm the real one. And it's all reverse psychology, so it can really screw with your mind if you're not aware of what you're looking at. So and then she also has the Cross of Change blog. But look at what she writes here. It says support for CSA, CSE victims, survivors, exposing frauds, liars, and sadistic trolls. And of course, I did capture the screenshot where she's writing articles about me. So I'll get to that in just a second. So incrimination and gossip. This is Shiva's main deal. One of the reasons why so many people are angry with Shiva Burton is because she makes up a lot of stories about people and spreads them in comment sections all over the internet. Trust me, I've seen a lot of people who are very angry at Shiva Burton because she does this to many people. I've seen Shiva write some mini novella comments on YouTube videos weaving tall tales about people. As for me and my family, Shiva started digging into my past and based her information on rumor mills and trolling channels. She would take random pieces of information and twist them into a whole new narrative, usually one that had me committing some kind of criminal act. In 2014, I was promoting our family project and our new business. To do this, I traveled around the world and spoke as a keynote speaker at conferences. I met with and took photos with hundreds of people that I met while on tour. I went on a lot of different radio shows and YouTube videos to promote our project. This is what people that are project managers and keynote speakers do to promote a new project. It's kind of like how the president of a country travels around a lot, takes a lot of photos with different people from other nations and businesses. It's basic public relations, and I'm a basic businesswoman. And just because there was a photo op does not mean that two people in the photo know each other in an intimate manner or are conspiring together in some sort of crime. It's hard to keep track of all of Shiva's accusations as she is really scattered, but I'll do my best to summarize it here and provide some screenshots. And by the way, before I go into all this, I'm a pretty standard person, and I'm a business person, and I have a project I'm working on. Everything is completely up to date and legal and all kinds of good stuff. I'm in good standing, you know, but these are the types of things that they try to paint me with. So brace yourself for this craziness. She accuses me of being a member of Sasha Stone's harem, being involved in creating a tribunal in London, trafficking children, and aiding and abetting the torture of children in Morocco. Then there are dozens of fragmented implications of my involvement with people I don't even know. And she makes a giant mess of dates, often quoting two events that happened many years apart as if they happened in the same week. Here's screenshots of some of her comments. Let's see if you can make heads or tails of what she's getting at. Her statements are incoherent, to say the least. It reads like a computer-generated fragments. It could also be writing while intoxicated, something I've always suspected. Either way, these comments do not come from a sound mind. In this comment, Shiva Burton is fabricating all sorts of stories about me and my business project, trying to link it to child abuse. She writes a whole bunch of names together, insinuating that I'm somehow connected with them all. Plus, she starts throwing dates around, trying to state that I was somewhere when I was not. All the dates she states here are wrong. She's mixed up facts and false dates to try to frame us for crimes. I'm going to read through these comments. Bear with me. You can pause the screen if you need to and read them yourself, but here's this is what she does. Shiva writes, my conjectures get even darker given the recent IT&J attempt in London to resurrect the most vile and evil false flag, Hampstead fakes, SRA case, which Hope Girl has connections to via Sasha Stone, Conference 2014, Ray Savage, ex-cop who interviewed mother and supporter her lives at Christ Church event, 29th March 2015. By the way, Chrissy Morris, Mark Seelan, Tom Crawford, Neelu Berry, Christine Ann Sands, and also there were 22nd of March 2015, Ray Savage hosted the UK QEG launch in 2015 at his Sussex home, having been at the QEG event in Morocco 2014, all having played part in promoting CSA hoaxes and pushing a satanic panic, aided by many truther and freedom, evangelical and sovereign citizens, or various faking scamming channels inspired by David Icke to promote the poison, then the cure, plus Alex Jones, another Pied Piper. And she links to Hoaxhead Research. They always link to Hoaxhead Research because that's who they work for. GCHQ trolling operation. And then here's one again, more comments stating that I'm involved in child abuse. Blimey, 29k subs, probs, bot, and other mutually supporting scammers money for exotic free energy. Are there any videos either mocking or debunking the guy I am though reporting fakes as I find them fraud scams? Quite a few QEG videos have gone. That's why she maliciously struck MKD's channels and also mine with a couple of copyright strikes. These types often play the victim when exposed, but are really vicious and get people with lots of fake accounts to attack and discredit their debunkers. They play very dirty too, both using children for clickbait as in RSA hoaxes and attack genuine campaigns of victims, both creating the vile false flags. Well, mocking victims of real tragedies, calling them false flags, like Sandy Hook. I've recently been condemned for supporting Lenny Posner, as well as for adding to Hoaxhead research listed by Hope Girl on Hoaxhead Exposed. You'll find Doazic too. She's obviously involved with something with a dark thread running through it. Okay, I have a hard time reading this stuff, so I'm not going to read through all of these things, all of her comments, because they're all kind of like that. I'll just pause it for a second on each one. But here's one where she's accusing me of being in exile from the U.S. law, which, by the way, I'm not in exile. I'm not hiding in Morocco. There's no warrants out for my arrest. All these things that they accuse me of, these are all part of the rumor mill thing. They threaten me. They threaten me with all this stuff. They try to paint me out to be a criminal. Here's one. Okay, Hope Girl was with Sasha. I remember her and Mel V chatting about it. Hope, if I remember right, wasn't very nice about him. I think Mel too had a run-in with him. I'm pretty sure this was held in England. When did Naima Dawn Fagan return to Morocco or stay with Ray Savage till they broke up? I think memory serves she stayed in the UK, was transitioning, escaping in the US in exile from US law. Okay, won't read through this. You can read it if you want. But this is basically where Sheva Burton is implying that my business, the QEG, is suspected of a dark agenda that is meant to harm children. She's trying to link my family's project to harming children. And here's one where Sheva Burton is trying to frame me for having something to do with torturing children in Morocco, which is, other than incredibly offensive, it's insane. But this is what they do. They take insane storylines and they try to pin it on you. They're desperately trying to pin something on you. That's part of the tactics. Right? So it's like she ends with so she's conniving, she's spreading gossip, she's starting rumors. So here's more of Sheva Burton trying to frame me for abusing children in Morocco. So she writes this on her blog post. I'll read some of it. So although Hope Girl has been up to dirty tricks for years, blocks comments so that no one can see the truth when it's written to her, she thinks it's okay to come on this new blog and crow about taking down my channel for copyright. Not happening, Hoax Girl. Go and make another video and hardly anyone will watch. Try and find a product to sell that works, then you might build some integrity, blah, blah, blah. So she's just insulting me. And then, how Christian of you. Oh, by the way, I get this a lot, the whole Christian thing. The people on this blog that are operating in this operation, most of them are Satanists, professing Satanists, or witches, or whatever, and they're all trying to tell me, the Satanists are trying to tell me how to be a Christian, which I think is ridiculous, but no. Just because you're a Christian does not mean you are a doormat. I'm not a doormat. I know what I believe. And it's not, oh, just, let people do this to you. No. Anyway, I won't get into that. See, published. Okay, so she's like, for now I'm happy that you can't stand the exposure. It proves that you have more to hide than perhaps some realize, especially about Morocco. Right, so she's always like trying to get into the, anyway, rumor mills. Go ahead and read that for yourself. Pause it if you need to. Alright, back to my blog post. Her accusations infuriate me, but who would expect any other kind of reaction when you're being accused of such horrific acts as the ones she insinuates? I don't have anything to do with any of the people or activities she mentions in her ramblings. I don't even know who or what she's talking about. She's a raving lunatic. But if this wasn't enough, she goes even further as well. And we'll see she decides to become a Gestapo-like leader of a lynch mob against my business. Alright, this is what, the other stuff was just incrimination and rumor mills, but this is more prevalent. So this is obstruction of commerce. As a human being in a free society, you have a right to create a product or service that is of value to others so that you can earn an honest living. This is basic commerce and small business entrepreneurship. Starting and running your own successful small business is something that the communist regimes that control internet trolls hate. They will do anything